So okay guys, so in this first class of this React, so we'll just first go through what all the things that we will be learning in this class. Okay, so we'll be just learning like what is React and what is the history of React and how the React was being introduced and so on. And then is nothing but there is something over here, that is third point. So what is the third point it is telling? What is this? Virtual DOM. So what is virtual DOM and what is DOM we'll be knowing, and also we'll be just knowing what are the advantages of virtual DOM. So do anyone know what is virtual DOM? So you guys just go through all these topics, and then what we'll be doing, we'll be just going through the installation part in today's class. Okay, so let us start. So first is what is React. So before knowing like what is React, so we need to know why we will be using the React, right? So I'll just open this. Okay, so first of all, the coming to the introduction of the React.js. So React is one of the JavaScript library. It is nothing but it is JavaScript library. Okay, this is nothing but a JavaScript library used to build a user interface. So what is an user interface? That is we will usually telling that UI. So interfaces are nothing but each and every components, every UI components we will be creating. Okay, and what is the next point that we are going to see over here? There is nothing but React is used to build a single page application. So what is the second point? So this second point. Oh, just a minute. Yeah. What is this second point? Anyone can let me know what is this second point? What is the meaning of this, the single page application? There is something called as single page applications and the multi page applications. Okay, single page applications, for example, you can take it as Facebook. So I'll just show you the difference. So in your mobile, suppose if you use Facebook or Zomato and so on, it doesn't take it doesn't get reloaded, right? But if you use something called as like other things, like it loads the page. So I'll also show you that site if you want. Mm. So this is one of the, I can also take Zomato actually. Okay, so see, so whenever I change or whenever I click on this, see this one is not getting reloaded. Are you able to see? Whenever I click on this, see it is just you are getting the data easily. It is not getting reloaded, right? See, if I click over here, this one is not getting reloaded, it is not getting loaded. But in some of the pages, so in some of the web applications, that is in multi-page web applications, in multi-page web sites, like what I can tell is it will just get reloaded. So it will be just loading. So for an example, Google is also one of the or multi-page only I can tell. So whenever you just click and whenever you run, it will just take some time to get any of the thing. So it might be anything. So it will just take more time. But here it consumes the time is less consumed. So let us just see the difference between that. Okay. So I'll just take one of my HTML text and I'll go over here. Difference between single, that is single page and so this is one of the question that you should go through. Okay, so that is nothing but you need to go through what is difference between single page and these. This is the main question, that first question based on React they ask. Okay, this is very important, so I'll just write note. So these are the interview questions. So you guys just go through this one. Okay, and what is the next thing? The third point, React allows us to create a reusable interface. So what is the meaning of reusable, guys? What is the meaning of reusable? Hmm? Yeah. So how we write the React in the sense. So I'll just take my Accelera and I'll just show you. So usually using HTML and CSS, see, using HTML and CSS, like what you used to do, you used to just create a site, and inside this one site you used to create a navbar. So one navbar, and you used to create some footers or some footer over here at the top bottom of the page, and you used to create some of the cards. So cards, I'll make it into blue color or I'll make it brown. Yeah. So this is how you used to create, right? So you used to create some of the cards and you used to create some of the slides, and we used to give some icon over here, that is one of the icon over inside, and we used to give some buttons, and we used to give one search bar, that is we used to give a search bar, and inside that this one button we used to give, so on, right? This is how we used to create using the, what I can tell, HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and we used to give the functionality also. But what when we are creating using the React.js? So this one will be, so this one is there, right? So this one, the same thing only, what we used to do, what we will be doing over here is, we'll be creating the same thing only in the form of structured way. So what is the what is like structured? Okay, so there will be something called as app.jsx. app.jsx. So this is the main file in that. Okay, so inside this app.jsx, so we'll be writing all other codes over here. So I'll be showing this in programmatical manner, so at that time you will be able to know. So we'll be creating all these things. So what I can tell is, so I'll be creating all these things in separate components. So first I'll be creating one navbar, and inside the navbar what all the things we need something like icon, and we need like one search bar and some of the list and the buttons we need, like login and register, you imagine. So this is what we need, right, over here. And the footer we need, and here we need some of the cards. So all these will be different components. Okay, so this one is one component, so this one is the first component, and this one is the second component, and this one is the third component. So this is how we create, but over here we will be creating in the same one file itself. That is, in the one file only we will be creating everything. So here we will be creating in different components. So whenever we need all these things, okay, so whenever we need all these things we will be using. So if I want to call the navbar in different pages, you can reuse the same component. So you can also reuse the buttons also. So for the buttons also you can create a different components. Okay, so we'll be able to reuse those things. So that is why we call it as reusable components. So is it clear like why we will be calling like reusable UI components? So we will be creating reusable UI components. Any doubts what is the meaning of reusable UI components? Okay, so anyone can explain me what is reusable UI components? Anyone? Because I need to know like whether you guys have understood or not. Any one of you? Anyone? I'll also show you this diagram. Any one of you? In basic, if it is wrong also it is okay. I need to know whether you guys have understood or not. Or else if you have not, I'll explain it again.
Since we are making use of components where you get to store each of the components in a different file, we can reuse them very easily in a different pages as well. Like once it is written in the component file, we can use the component whenever or in whichever page that is required.
Yeah, sure. So that is the same thing. See, but here now we have only created only one page. So if you that is what since you have told. So if you want to create the another page similarly like this, and it like there is only some changes in that page. So in that page you imagine that I'll just copy the same thing, Control C, and I'll just I'll just paste it over here. Sorry. So I'll just paste it over here, and See, so this one and this one. So here you imagine I don't want these things, that is this cards. So I'll delete this, and here I need some other thing, that is I'll just take one login and register. Okay, or else I'll take only register and I'll take some of the inputs. So imagine that I'll be taking some of the inputs. Okay, that is 1 and 2, 3 and 1 button. Okay, so this is how it takes. So at that time what I can use over here is I'll be using this component. I'll just take a sketch. So at that time what I can do is the same thing as you told, I'll be just using this over here also and this one over here also, and the same footer over here also. So this is nothing but footer and this is footer. Okay, and this one is also footer. And now what I need to do, I need to use this one. So for this one also what I'll be using is I'll be creating another page over here. Okay, that is another component, that is component 4, and then I'll be using over here, because if I want to use the same thing in any other different page, if this one is like number 2 page, and if I am creating another page, if I need over there, I can use the same thing over there also, right? So for that only I'll be using these, I'll be creating in the form of this. Okay, so I think so you understood. So everyone understood? I need the response. Pavan?
Yes, sir.
What you understood? It's okay, you can tell in Kannada also, no, not an issue. I need to know whether you have understood or not. Pavan, ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು?
So components can be used in multiple terms.
Okay. So here which one is component, which one is page? ಯಾವುದು component, ಯಾವುದು page? ನಾನು ಬರೆದಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇನಿದು? ಇದು one page.
Single page it have multiple components.
Yeah, so this is a page, okay, and these one are components. So in how many components that have been created? How many components have created? Vidya?
4.
Vidya? Okay, Vaishnavi, how many components have created over here? Hmm?
3, sir.
4 components. Even this is also a component. I have created another one. Okay, so I have created 4 components over here. Okay, see, because this one is, now if it is not over here also, I am creating the new one. Okay, this component I have not used over here, that is the second component I have not used in the second page, but have used a 4th component, but 4th component I didn't use over here. So what all it is required, you can just create and go. Okay, so this is how you will be creating. So this is just one example I am showing. Okay, you need to know what is components. So, and you might ask, so we create a components, right? So in which language we will be creating, and what is the type of thing, like where we will be creating, that one we will see later. Okay, So let this be, and I'll just go through the another thing. So what was our first question in our what I can tell? What was our first question in our topic, that is React? What was our first question? That is like what is React, right? I'll open this also. So what was our first question? Like what is React JS? So let us just go through that. Okay, so I think so if I open one of the page and other page is just closing down. Okay, so over here, so what is React? So React is some like it is nothing but it is a front-end JavaScript framework. So what it is, the JavaScript framework in the sense nothing but again here you can just tell, you can ask me like what is framework. Frameworks are nothing but a JavaScript library. Okay, so it is nothing but a types of all the JavaScript libraries we use, and using those libraries we will be creating, that will be created as a what I can tell one of our big library. So using those library we will be using some tool, that is nothing but what I can tell so that is React JS. So we will be using, so I can also tell you that that is nothing but what is React or React JS. So this is our second question, right? So you can also tell this as React or React JS is a tool to build a UIs. Okay, and JavaScript library for building UI, that is UI. You can also tell this as user interface. Okay, so React is also nothing but it is a user interface. So you can also tell this answer for what I can tell, what is framework. So what is a framework? So you can just tell the answer for this question. So what is the framework in the sense, if anyone asks you like what is the framework, you can just tell it React and React JS. So it is a tool for building UIs. So UIs are, you know what is UIs. So UIs is, what is UIs? That is nothing but user interfaces. Okay, so this user interfaces are nothing but it's a tool to build the user interfaces. All the frameworks are nothing but it's a tool to build the user interfaces. And what does it contains? It contains JavaScript libraries. Okay, so this is LIB RA library. Okay, so this is nothing but it's nothing but it's a JavaScript library that contains inside that. And so again, so these are nothing but it is used to build a user interfaces. Okay, so what does React contains? What does React contains? See, this is how the interviewer will ask the questions. So by the answer you tell na, in using that only they will be creating a different question. So what does React contains? This is the same answer only you can tell. It contains a JavaScript libraries which is used to build a what? Which is used to build a UI components, or like user, which is used to build a user interfaces. Okay, so you can tell both the things. So any doubts like what is React or JS, or what is frameworks? Any doubts like what is React or what is frameworks? And again, as I told over here, like it is an JavaScript library and it's used to create a it is a JavaScript library created by the Facebook. So Facebook is also one of the single page application I told, right? And again this was being created, that is React was being created, that React language was, the tool was actually being created using by the Facebook only. Okay, and they almost use all the things that is UI components in their Facebook because like it will not get any reloaded time and all, it will just save the time, and only the changes that is made in the only the changes made in the web pages will be applicable. It will not just reload the whole page. Okay, so whatever the changes it is required, only those pages it will just take down. So if anyone asks you what is React, so what will be your answer? Pawan? Pawan, I need a response. Okay, Nisha.
It's a front-end library of JavaScript. It contains many libraries and also tools which is used to build UI components.
Okay, and it is also used to create a single page application. Yeah. Okay, so this is enough, but you will be also be going through more deeper than this. Okay, so at that time you will be able to create any different things, and who has been created this one also you can tell, this point also you can tell. So it was been created by the Facebook. Okay, and what is the next thing that they are asking in this, that is over here? What is the thing? That is something called as virtual DOM and its advantages. So do you know what is virtual DOM? Anyone? What is DOM? So you guys know what is DOM. So anyone can explain what is DOM? So in JavaScript you have already gone through that, right? So what is DOM? See,
it's a document object model.
Yeah, it's a document object model. Yeah, it's correct. And how does it work?
It defines how to access and manipulate the documents.
Okay. For exchange of an information. Okay, cool. So let us just understand the difference between first, that is DOM, virtual DOM, and the normal DOM. Okay, so I'll just open my Accelera and if you want, I'll share this. Okay, so I'll share this. Okay, so I'll be deleting this now. So okay, so what is DOM? So imagine this is DOM and this one is virtual DOM. Okay, so just a minute, I think so I have a diagrammatical thing, that is virtual DOM difference between, yeah. Okay, see, so just go through this, like what you are able to see over here. So what you are able to see? So can anyone understand like what it is over here? So the real DOM is nothing but a DOM, okay, and this is the virtual DOM. Okay, so here whenever you create in a DOM, like suppose if I just take one of the UI, that is UI is nothing but what is that? What is UL? Sorry. What is UL? Unordered list, right? So in unordered list, I am just giving the class name over here. So this is one of the small example, okay? I am just giving the class name as what? Selected. So this one I will be changing it to null. So imagine first this was our UI. So here I am taking the same copy of this real DOM over here in the virtual DOM. So what I can tell is, so I can tell this one is there, right? This will be taking one of the copy. So I'll just cut this. Okay. So this is nothing but a copy of this one. So this is nothing but a copy of this one, and I am altering this, that is nothing but updating. ing. So I am updating this. So okay, so I am updating this. So what is the thing that I am updating? I am just making this class name as null. So I am removing the class name for this one. Okay, so I don't want a class name, I'll be removing it over here. So this one will be affected only over here, that is in virtual DOM, because this is already having a copy over here, and whatever the changes that is required, that will be made over here only. Okay, and at the final render only it will just go over here. So by the way, what can you understand over here? That is, what is the thing that you are understanding? So whatever the changes that is made, since we have something called as virtual DOM, it will be made the changes in the virtual DOM only first. Okay, then only it will be affected to the real DOM. So any doubts, like, or I should explain it again? Hmm? Should I explain it again?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, in the sense?
Explain it again, sir.
Okay. See, this is a real DOM, right? So this is, you imagine this is with the main person. This one is the main person and this one is there, right? So this, that is this one. This is a copy. So this one is the copy. So I am just taking over here, I am copying the code and I will be altering this. So whatever the changes I make also, it will be, this is different and this one is different. Okay. So whatever the changes I make, it will be affected over here only. So this will not affect the original code which I have already written. So this will not affect the real DOM. So this will take the copy from the real DOM. So this is nothing but it will just take the copy from here, and what are all the changes at the, like, what I can tell, total changes if we done after doing all the changes, we will be using something called as rendering and all. So at that time only it will go and it will affect. It will not affect for each and every, what I can tell, for each and every changes. For each and every changes, it will be done over here only. So it saves our time. So for each and every turn, if you go and just keep on asking the permission with this file, it takes more time, right? So instead of going over here, it will just so this file, that what I can tell, this altered file. So whatever the file that have been altered, so this will just go over here. So this one will just go over here and then it will change. That's all. So this will not affect the original file. At the last render only it will go and affect. Okay. So imagine again this one, instead of this, I need to change here. I need to give one class name, that is class name. Okay, I will be giving the class name over here. So at that time what I will be doing, so this one will be changed. So this line, imagine the same line I am writing over here. So I will be getting the class name over here. At the final, so completion of all the things, then this will be affected over here. Okay, so you should will not be the time is saved over here. Is the time will be saved, or it takes more time? The time will be saved, right, if the alteration is done next to this only, instead of going and changing in the original file. So this is original file and this is copy file. So I'll also write this is original file and this is copy file, and this is nothing but the updation which I am doing. So understood or not?
So can you explain it with the use case?
From the,
Can you explain it using any use case?
okay, I'll be showing this using what I can tell. Actually, this virtual DOM, I'll not be able to show you the virtual DOM, because this virtual DOM is followed using what I can tell. It is used by the React only. So it is inside the React. As we use inside the what HTML, HTML and JavaScript, it is similar to that only, which is just used inside the React. So I will not be able to show this one. So like I will be showing some of the example how it works. Okay, so this is one of the example I am just telling you. Okay, so what I'm just telling we'll be just giving the class name, or suppose if you just change this, that is nothing but pets is there, so this pets I'll be changing, you imagine. So this pet I'll change to cat. So I'll just write this one. over here only. So imagine UL and UL. So I'll go over here and I'll write. This is not React, just I'm showing you the demo, okay? Okay, see, I'll write it over here only. That is so okay. So here I have taken one UL, right? So I'll just comment all these things which have already written, that is the nav bar, and I'll just host this page, okay? So I'll comment off this nav bar. Where is that? So why is this error over here? Okay, I'll remove all these things and I'll just write now UL so I'll write items. So I have hosted the page, okay, and I'll comment my styles also. Or I'll just remove this total style. Okay, so this is also done. Yeah. So imagine in DOM, right? So whenever you just go and do over here, that is, I'm explaining here the React thing, not the HTML and CSS. So in DOM, so how does it work in the sense? So whatever the thing that you write and whatever the change you do, so this is our original DOM and this is our copy. I'll take one of my copy, that is h1 tag copy. So this is our original and this one is as this is from here have copied. Okay, I'll just make this as DOM that is real DOM. So from the real DOM I am just copying to the what? Virtual DOM. Okay, so I am copying to the virtual DOM. So whatever the changes I do over here, it will just affect over here only. So the base, what I can just copy this and I am updating this. Okay, so this is nothing but update and I'll just cover this in h1 tag. So whatever the thing I do, it will be updated over here. So for example, if I change this, if I give over here that is class name, I'll just give name. Okay, so this will be affected only over here first. Okay, it will only be affected over here. I am telling in React if we do. So whatever the thing if I do over here, only the class name add class name. So a class name is added over here and over here also the class name will be added. It might be anything, guys. So it may be anything like whether any text or any content or anything, it may be any changes that will be made. It will be affected only in the virtual DOM. It will not be affected to the real DOM. After all the changes it does, at the last, when it just renders and then if it goes, so it will be affected in only virtual DOM. So it will not affected to the real DOM. So everything will be handovered in the virtual DOM only. So I think so now you understood how this will just work. So this will not be affected, only the virtual DOM just handovers. It will take the complete complete control over here. So any changes will immediately be done in the virtual DOM and it is very easy to do over here. So any doubts how it will just go? Or should I again explain? So this will not be affected. So this part will not be get affected. Okay. So over here, what I can just tell is, I'll also be like to show like the different picture, which it is. I don't know why this is blank. Yeah. So again I can just tell you that is this is a DOM and we'll be copying that the same thing. So same example which we took now over here. That is nothing but this one, I think so. The same example, the previous thing that which we done, we'll be first copying and then we'll be doing. And any other images that I can just show you. Normal DOM. So this one also you have just gone through. So this is how it works, guys. And there is a structure of the page. So this one you will just go through. We'll go through later. Okay. So here, by the way, what is the definition that they are telling? You guys just go through the definition what they are telling. So I have already explained you. So here is one of the definition that they have written. So anyone can just read out what it is. Anyone? Nisha?
No.
Yeah, just read out what it is, na?
Yeah. How does React work? React creates a virtual DOM in the memory. Instead of manipulating the browser's DOM directly, React creates a virtual DOM in memory where it does all the necessary manipulating before making the changes in the browser DOM.
Okay. React. Wait. Pawan, what did you understood? What did you understand? Pawan?
Sir.
What did you understand? So I've already explained this. Vidya? Vidya?
She's not in the call.
Okay. What about Aman? Aman, what did you understand? Vaishnavi? Okay, you only explain what is the meaning of that. What is the meaning? I have already explained. Nisha, you only explain.
Yeah. Like instead of creating any alterations in the main file, it creates a copy and then there it does all the necessary manipulating or any changes that has to be done. And then it makes the changes in the browser DOM. Like not directly it affects the browser DOM once for all. It creates a virtual copy. There it does all the necessary manipulation and then it gets affected in the browser DOM.
Okay. So any doubts on that?
No.
And what is the next thing that they have told? A real DOM only changes what is needed to be changed. Okay. So in the sense what they are telling is the real DOM is there, na? So since all the thing will be done in over here only. So what I can tell in virtual DOM only. Sometimes we'll be changing again. Sometimes we'll be altering. Sometimes all the things will be altered and so on, right? So this virtual DOM, whatever the changes that has been done in the virtual DOM, right? So what I can tell, what all the changes that are done in this virtual DOM. So only this one is added, and sometimes what I'll be doing, I'll be adding over here, and so after that I'll be removing this, and again I'll be adding for the second one, and I'll be adding for the third one later. So what I can tell, so I'll be just even I'll also add, I'll copy this and again I'll just 3 to 4 times I'll copy it over here In the sense I will be doing over here 3 to 4 times. Again later I will remove it, and I'll just think that I'll be doing, I want this only in the last line. So after hundreds of changes I'll be doing, this is my final, you imagine. Okay, so this one will be my final, what I can tell, final thing. At that time only this, what I can tell, this virtual DOM is there, right? So this virtual DOM will change in the main DOM. This virtual DOM will be changed in the main DOM. So this is what I mean to tell. So I was able to, I was explaining till now. Okay, so at last only, after doing everything over here, then only the final decision will be done. Okay, so until that your one of the virtual DOM will be done. Okay, so later only the real DOM will be affected. Okay, so any doubts in this? Okay, so you can also just go through this definition. Yeah, read out.
React only changes what needs to be changed. React finds out what changes have been made and changes only what needs to be changed.
Okay. So here is something called as, in HTML DOM, document object model. So you have just already gone through what is like document object model, right? So these are the nodes also I told you, that is nothing but document node and elements node and HTML attributes nodes and these things. So these are the things that I have already told you. So I'll also show you that page over here, the nodes of that. See the nodes, the document node and the elements node, attribute node, and these are nothing but the text node and the content node. So this is nothing but which they have been telling the same thing only in the React also. So where is that page? Yeah, the same thing only, document node, element node, attribute node, and text or element node, and this is nothing but the content node. So this is nothing but the same thing, similar to what we have been learned in the HTML. Okay, and there is some of the histories, like how it was being created. I told you, it was being introduced in the it was been introduced by the, created by the Facebook. So you can just read out this one. Nisha, you can just go through this.
React.js history. Current version of React.js is version 18.0.0, which was introduced in April 2022, and initial release to the public, which was version 0.3.0, was in July 2013. React.js was first used in 2011 for Facebook's newsfeed feature. Facebook software engineer Jordan Walk created it.
Yeah. So what they are coming to tell in the sense, so the Jordan Walk, he was an engineer, the Facebook engineer who introduced and who created this React. So if anyone asks that, like what you should tell is the Jordan Walk who created that one, and when was that been introduced. There may be a question that arises. Okay, so when was that been introduced? When was the React been introduced? So it was been introduced in the 2011. Okay, so and the what I can tell, the current version that which we are using is V18. Okay, V18 is one of the version that which we are using, that was been introduced in 2022. Okay, So these are the main things that you need to know. Okay, this is like nothing but one of the like history part that you need to know. So any doubts in this? Can I go to another scroll?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay. So coming to the like I'll just tell you this one after installation of Node.js. Okay. So let us first just go through the installation part of Node.js. So I'll just open my browser. So I have already installed my Node.js. Suppose if you want to know like whether you have already installed Node.js or not, you can just go and search for CMD, that is command prompt, and you can also open the command prompt, or you can directly go over here, that is, and you can just open your terminal. Okay, if you just press Ctrl Shift and back take, you will be able to get your command prompt, that is terminal over here. Okay, or else you can just go over here beside the run, and you click the three dots and open your terminal. Okay, this terminal will be open, so you can just come to three dots and open your terminal, new terminal. Okay, and what you can search over here is, you will be just checking the, so if you don't know the command what it is, you can also just go over here and just search command to check the version of node. So that is nothing but node of v. So I'll just go over here and I'll just type the same thing, that is node v. See, I am using the 16.66.0 version, that is node version. Okay, so this is how you will be able to check. Suppose if it is not array, if it is not there, you will not get any version. Okay, it will get any other message. So at that time what you will be doing is, you will just go over here and search for node JS and install. You can just directly go for download node JS over here. Sorry, you can actually go over here only. Yeah, you click on this link and just click over here, so it will start getting downloaded. Since I have already downloaded, I'll just cancel this. Okay, so after just downloading that, you can install it. Okay, so this is only the one thing you need to install. Okay, so done. And the creation of the project and all, I'll be telling you in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so any doubts guys, how to install? Hello guys, any doubts? Okay, Pavan,
Sir.
any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll just stop recording.